We've all been there. You're standing in a museum staring at a painting and all you can think is, I don't get it. To me, knowing the story behind an artwork is a huge part of knowing how to look at it. I'm Amanda, the host of the Art of History podcast, where we view history through the lens of some really great works of art. Each episode, we dive deep into the bigger picture behind some familiar and maybe not so familiar pieces. Check out Art of History now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Culture Kids! Thanks for joining us today as we dive into episode 6. My name is Kristen and I am your host along with my 5-year-old son Asher. If you love listening to Culture Kids podcast, make sure you and your grown-up are subscribed to our channel so you don't ever miss a new episode. Last week, we learned some cool facts about the Great Wall of China. Today, we're doing something a little different because Asher is very curious about this particular person and has requested that we learn more about this person's work. But the most interesting part is, we're not even sure who this person is. Now, I know this sounds a little confusing, but what we do know is that this person makes art, which makes this person an artist. And they are very talented and known all over the world under the name
Banksy.
That's right. Even though we don't know too much about this person, we can learn a little bit about the facts from what we do know. Banksy's artwork first started appearing in Bristol, which is a city in England. People assume that he is a man from the clues they have gathered over the years. He is still alive and making art, so this makes him a contemporary artist.
Banksy's work is usually found where there's a lot of people, like train stations, buildings, or bridges.
Yes, we live in Los Angeles, and once in a while, I have noticed his work in some of the walls while we're driving. Banksy has some cool techniques that makes his artwork very special, which leads us to the word of the week. Drum roll, please. Stenciling.
Stenciling is the art technique for making designs.
A stencil is a piece of paper, plastic, or metal which has a design cut out of it. You place the stencil on a surface and paint it so that the paint goes through.
Banksy likes to use what is already on the walls and location to make his art.
He does. For example, if there are some paint drippings that were already on the wall, Banksy uses those paint drippings as part of his work. He once painted a girl holding an umbrella, and the paint drippings that were already there were made to look like rain dripping down. Now, how was that for creativity?
Banksy likes to use rats in his artwork.
Banksy does. His work sends a message that makes people think about social issues and problems he sees in the world. Asher makes a lot of art at school, and we always remind him that art is not meant to be perfect. Art is a way to express your feelings, emotions, or thoughts in different ways. It doesn't always have to look pretty or realistic. It's more about what you want to express and what kind of messages you want to share.
Banksy likes to remain in secret and doesn't go on TV or take pictures of himself.
Exactly. Though we may never know for sure, there are some guesses as to why we think Banksy wants to remain in secret. So Asher, what's a rule that we have at home about art?
We cannot draw on the walls or the carpet.
That's right. Now, not everyone might have this rule, but in our family, we express our art in other ways that do not involve drawing on the walls. So in that same way, some countries or cities might not be very happy about Banksy's art being in walls. So friends, don't forget, if you ever want to express yourself by drawing on walls, please make sure to check with your grown-ups before doing so. That is very important.
Banksy might just be shy or likes his privacy.
That's another theory. A lot of people just don't like to be in the center of attention. His artwork is known all over the world. So if we knew who he was, I think a lot of people would want to know all about who he is, and some people like their privacy, which makes perfect sense to me.
Let's talk about a famous painting by Banksy called Girl with the Balloon.
Ooh, now this is a very interesting story.
He once sold a painting of a girl holding a red balloon. The painting was framed in glass.
This painting was at an auction and it sold for a lot of money because Banksy is very famous. But as soon as the painting was sold at the auction, it magically started shredding itself. Can you imagine buying a painting and it suddenly started shredding itself like magic?
What is shredding?
Shredding is when you use a device to destroy paper, or in this case, artwork, into strips. But people believed that this was all a part of his art, and this made the painting even more famous and even more popular.
How? It tripped?
That's a very good question. People think that the act of shredding the art was so shocking that so many people started talking about it, and it drew a lot of attention everywhere around the world. It made the painting one of the most famous pieces of artwork that was ever made by Banksy. Others also think that the act of shredding the painting is another artistic message Banksy was trying to share. I think it's very cool and very interesting.
Some people have guesses who Banksy is.
That's right. Though nobody can confirm for sure, there are some guesses as to who this mysterious and fascinating person could be.
Some people think he's not just one person, but many people.
That could be one guess. Or some think it's a man named Robert Gunningham. Or some people believe that he's a different person, like a musician in a band. Others think he could be a TV show host. We will truly never know.
How does he not get caught when he's doing his art? In public spaces.
That's one of the first questions I had when I was learning about Banksy. By using his stenciling technique, this allows him to work much faster than if he were to paint his work. So this gives him a chance to work really fast so that he doesn't get caught. Also, Banksy has been seen on security cameras painting on walls during early hours when nobody was around. Though the cameras could not identify his face, his body figure has been spotted painting the walls.
Banksy does a lot more than just artwork.
So you can imagine that he's made lots of money doing different things with art. He has donated lots of money and several of his artwork to different groups and people that needed a lot of help. Some of them being children's hospitals or different charity groups.
Well, I hope we find out who he is someday.
Me too. But I think it's also very important to respect his privacy because we may never know the real reasons why Banksy wants to share his art in secret. But it's fun to take guesses. Well, we always end our episode by sharing some jokes. Asher, would you like to share a joke?
Yes! Why did the skeleton not go to school?
Why?
Because he had no heart in him. Ha 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 ha.
Perfect for Halloween. Okay, my turn. What is a sea lion's favorite subject?
Art.
Okay, I did tell Asher that one earlier during the week, so I'm going to tell a different one. I don't think you've heard of this one yet. What do graffiti artists call empty walls? A Banksy. Get it? Banksy, but with a blank wall, so Banksy.
That's not funny. I'm not even laughing.
Okay. Fine. One last one.
I got another one.
Oh, okay, fine.
What's Richard's favorite subject at school?
What?
Spelling.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review and let us know what you want to learn about next. We'd love to hear from you as always. Until next time.
See you later, alligators in the wild, crocodiles.